Welcome back to part 2 of the episode about book review on High Five Habits. Hopefully in this time that you've been able to actually get the book and start it. So give me feedback about what you think about High Five Habits. Being able to give yourself validation instead of always seeking external validation. So in quick review, if you have not listened to last week's episode, go back and listen to it, where we discuss High Five Habits. Being able to show yourself some grace and being able to pat yourself on the back, to be able to high five yourself. So some of the things that we discussed in the first episode is the destruction of negative self-talk. We also discussed the fact that high fiving yourself tells yourself that you are seen, you are heard, you are needed, and that you are validated. So we will continue with this book review, the last few chapters of the book. But hopefully this is bringing you value. Give me feedback. And hope you enjoy this episode. So we talked about redirecting your mind. So 3 things. Say, I'm not thinking about that. Set up a mental cue or mantra to combat that with. And then act like the person you want to become and prove to yourself you are a good person by serving other people. So one thing that you can do, instead of always focusing on yourself, is focusing on how do you help other people, or what's the greater good behind your action. So say I'm not thinking about that. Set up a mental cue or mantra to combat it. Like I said, I give up being perfect for being authentic. So just because I messed up this one time, just because, I said I'm on a diet and I messed up and ate the wrong food, or I said I was going to work out all month and here I am on day 5 and I skipped a workout. Does that mean the whole month is shambles? Or do I just reset and say I give up being perfect for being authentic? I'm giving my best, I'm going to do the best that I can and get back started. So this next thing might be something that doesn't really sit well with other people too, but it says, who are you jealous of? And the reflex action might be, I'm not jealous of anyone, but what it's saying is who is doing something that you want to do, or who is more successful maybe in something that they're doing than you're not. So who has, for let's say a podcast, you want to start a podcast, but you look around and say, okay, everyone else has already started a podcast. I wanted to write a book on that topic, but somebody else has already written a book on it. I wanted to apply for that job, but my best friend already got the position that I wanted. Who are you looking at that's performing something maybe at a higher level than you are? And what are your thoughts around it? So why are you not taking the same action that they're taking, number one, and what is blocking you? So when you see someone that is successful at something that you want to do, what do you do? Do you say that that's a reason that you cannot do it, or do you use that as proof that it can be done? So when you see someone else with something or doing something, you say, oh, I cannot have it because they have it, or is that proof that it can be done? So I think the latter, that is proof that it can be done. And that's even more reason because, if you're being truly your authentic self, you don't have a duplicate. So no matter who has a podcast, who wrote a book on that topic, they are not you. And you still add something different when you start to infuse your own life experiences. So let's talk about guilt. So guilt is self-inflicted. Guilt makes you feel bad, so you want to cave into those feelings. So guilt is self-inflicted and it makes you feel bad, so you want to cave into those feelings. So all the people pleasers out there, it is okay if others feel disappointed or hurt by your decisions. That's been something that I've struggled with. People pleasing is about your own insecurities. So people pleasers think you're being nice when you manipulate what others think about you to make them happy. I'm going to say that one more thing. So people pleasing in general is about your insecurities, about not wanting people to really know who you are, or to know your struggles, or to know your thoughts, because your thoughts and your actions and your struggles might offend someone. Or your thoughts, what will they really think? Will they want to be my friend if they know who I really am, if they know my struggles, if they know the internal thoughts that I have? So people pleasers think you're being nice when you manipulate what others think about you to make them happy. But what are you doing? You're truly being a liar, because you're really manipulating who you are to make it fit into the image that you think someone else wants to see, instead of really being your true authentic self. So back to the what do you see when you encounter an obstacle or a problem in your life. There are two types of people, those that see obstacles and those that see opportunities. Do you think and say your dreams out loud? And if you do, what does that make you feel? When you say your dreams, do you cower down from them, or do they make you feel empowered or more powerful? So when you think about the obstacles, you feel defeated. And when you think about your dreams, you feel empowered. So that's the whole thing behind goal setting. But it's not only important to set goals, it's also important to set a deadline for your goals so that they don't just continue to linger on, because we know many times without action, those dreams will die. As healthcare providers, we spend a large portion of our lives focused on our training as well as taking care of other individuals. But I'm calling a timeout because life can change in an instant. We know it's difficult to fathom that a sudden illness, injury, or death could put you and your family in a devastating financial situation. But that's where Dr. Stephanie Pearson and her unique team of advisors at Pearson Ravitz come into play. They focus on empowering physicians like yourself to protect your most valuable asset, your income, and life's most important people, your family. So go to pearsonravitz.com to make sure that you are protected today. Now, this is really good. So this is chapter 11. So you will project your greatest fear into every conversation. Everyone else does not see your insecurities. It's inside your head. So how powerful is that? Because no matter what your insecurities are, we feel that, or I feel that everyone else sees it or everyone else knows it. If you word selections, for instance, on this podcast, in the beginning, I tried to take away every pause, every slight stutter or whatever it may be, or sometimes my vocabulary, I feel is not the most vast. So let's just talk about me. So sometimes I'll have a word that I'm trying to think of, but it just doesn't come out. So in the beginning of this podcast, it used to drive me crazy. And I think that many times with podcasters, that's one reason why there are many episodes that are recorded that you never hear, because the sound quality might not be the greatest. You might not like the volume, or there might have been a little static in the background, or the dog might have barked in the background. But is that really important? And is anyone else really focused on it? Does anyone else see that one hair that's out of place that you look in the mirror every day and look at, right? So we focus on our insecurities when many times nobody else really cares. However, our mind will trick us into thinking that's the most important thing. So you will project your greatest fear into every conversation. Everyone else doesn't really see your insecurities. It's inside your head. You are the person judging you, not everyone else. So motivation is never there when you need it, right? So motivation is a feeling versus just knowing that you have a larger calling or you have a task that has to be done. No matter if you wake up with a headache, no matter if you wake up and it's raining, you wake up and you'd rather be in the bed. Many days I wake up, I don't want to go to work. I don't feel like going to a child's game. I don't feel like getting behind this microphone to record an episode, but I know that it's something that I need to do. And I know that the importance of me being there, the importance of me showing up is more important than how I feel in that moment. Inky Johnson talks about many times trusting the process, and trusting the process even when that initial excitement or feeling is gone. Even when people are not patting you on the back, are you still going to show up and do your job to the best of your ability? Are you only performing when you know that there's some type of external validation in store for you? A raise, outside gratification, a trophy, an award. Is that what you're chasing, or are you chasing your purpose? Are you chasing building something that others cannot tear down? Are you chasing building a legacy for your family? So you're not going to always feel motivated. I want people to know that, but still you have to move forward. All right. So some things to say to yourself when you might feel agitated or you might feel in danger. So self-validation. I'm okay, I'm safe, and I'm loved. I'm okay, I'm safe, and I'm loved. Those are definitely very powerful words to help with, being anxious, or to help when you're just feeling like nobody else is around. Because sometimes in the darkest hours, you're by yourself, right? So those words say I'm okay, I'm safe, and I'm loved. All right. So about to wrap this up, but I just want to cover one more thing. Chapter 15. You are your own beacon. The feeling that you are looking for from others is inside of you already. The feeling that you are looking for others to fulfill for you is already inside of you. So you are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you think. I want people to know that whatever you're searching for from someone else, that you already have it. Whatever you're looking for before you start that book, start that podcast, start that job, build the family that you want, is likely already inside of you. And what do you do to unlock that potential inside of you is where the hard work starts. So, I think this book is important. How many times have I high-fived myself in the mirror? Maybe 3, 4, 5. But I don't want everyone to miss the boat on this, because it's more about, I think, the self-validation, the positive self-talk, stopping the negative self-talk, stopping the destructive habits and actions that keep you bound, or they make you feel important. I think that's even more important than the actual physical action of high-fiving yourself in the mirror. If you do it, great, but know that you are loved, you are seen, you are cared for, you are important to this world. And I think that's even the more powerful message behind this book. So check it out. Give me feedback on what you think. Check out the book. I'm not getting paid anything for the book. Mel Robbins is a well-known public speaker, a well-known author. She does not need my endorsement, but I knew this book was something that touched me and was powerful for me, so I wanted to share it with you. Give me feedback and be blessed. Thank you for continuing to support this podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, then please leave a 5-star review. And if you haven't done so, subscribe so you continue to get the updated episodes. Until later, peace. Time out with the sports doctor. Keep our head right in the game. We ain't never stopping. You are now tuned in. Trust you don't want to miss. This is where life, sports, and medicine